I always tell people I'm not ambitious and they laugh. Everyone wants more, Alina used to say. I'd shrug and tell her, I already have what I want. Back then that was true. You're sure about this? She asked me the night I proposed. We were sitting on the floor of our tiny apartment, backs against the couch, eating cold noodles. I'm sure about you, I said. That's enough. She smiled, nervous and bright. I have nothing right now. I know, I said. We'll build it. Our wedding was quiet. No guests. No photos. She squeezed my hand and whispered, promise me this stays ours. I promised. I didn't ask why secrecy mattered so much. Years later, people called her a miracle. I can't believe how fast the company's growing, one investor said on the phone. Alina laughed. I barely sleep. After the call, she looked at me. Do you mind if I work tonight? I said, do you ever need to ask? She leaned down and kissed my forehead. I don't know what I'd do without you. I believed her. When the company took off, our apartment got quieter. She started coming home late, heels in her hand, phone still glowing. You ate? I'd ask. I grabbed something, she'd reply. Don't wait up. Sometimes I'd say, we should celebrate. She'd smile distracted. After this quarter. One night I joked, I feel like your assistant. She frowned. Don't say that. You're my husband. The word felt warm in my chest. Then act like it, I said softly. She sighed. You know I'm doing this for us. I did know. Or I thought I did. At events I stayed in the back. People shook her hand and ignored me. Someone once asked, are you staff? I smiled and said, something like that. Later, Alina whispered, thank you for understanding. I'm proud of you, I said. I meant it. When the first magazine cover came out, she stared at it in silence. You're famous now, I said. She touched the page. I'm scared. Of what? Losing everything. I laughed. I'm right here. She didn't laugh back. That night she said, if anyone asks, keep things simple. About us? Yes, she said quickly. Just for now. I searched her face. You still trust me, right? She took my hands. You're the only one I trust. I held on to that sentence like a shield. I thought love meant standing behind someone without needing credit. I thought loyalty was enough. When I watched her sleep, I felt certain we were unbreakable. I didn't see the cracks. I didn't hear the warning. I trusted her completely. That was my first mistake. Do you ever regret it? I asked her once late at night when rain tapped the windows. Regret what? She said. Choosing this life. She rolled onto her side. I chose us. I smiled in the dark. Then we're good. We're good, she repeated. Another morning she rushed out, jacket half on. Wish me luck. You don't need luck, I said. You're unstoppable. She paused. That's because you're steady. I laughed. Someone has to be. My friend stopped calling. Her world got louder, mine smaller. You should come to the launch party, she said one evening. Do you want me there? I asked. She hesitated. It's complicated. I nodded. Then I'll stay home. She hugged me tight. Thank you for understanding. I watched her leave and told myself this was love. I told myself silence was strength. I told myself she would never let go of me. I was wrong. The night before her first TV interview, she paced the room. What if I mess up? She asked. You won't, I said. Just be yourself. She stopped. And what if myself isn't enough? I stepped closer. It was enough for me. She looked at me for a long moment. Promise you won't leave. I'm not going anywhere, I said. She nodded, relieved. Then I can face anything. I believed that promise was forever. I didn't know forever was already ending. I trusted her with my name, my future, my silence, and my heart, never imagining trust itself could become the sharpest weapon against me slowly. I stood at the edge of the ballroom, hands folded, watching Alina step onto the stage. Cameras flashed like lightning. My phone buzzed in my pocket, but I didn't look. This was her moment. I was proud. A reporter called out, Ms. Alina, rumors say you're married. Is that true? I smiled without thinking. Alina laughed into the microphone. No, she said. I'm single. The word hit me harder than any slap. Another reporter asked, completely single? Yes, she said smoothly. I've always been focused on my career. I stopped breathing. Someone near me whispered, she's married to her work. I felt the floor tilt. I stepped back, bumping into a waiter. Sorry, he said. It's fine, I muttered, though nothing was fine. On stage, Alina kept smiling. A CEO doesn't have time for distractions. Distractions. I moved closer to the stage, my heart pounding. Alina, a journalist said, "What about your personal life?" She shrugged. "There's nothing to talk about." I waited for her eyes to find me. They didn't. A man beside me said, "She's ruthless. That's why she wins." I wanted to scream, "She's my wife." Instead, I swallowed it. My phone buzzed again. A message from Daniel, watching live. "You okay?" I typed back, "I think she forgot me." The crowd laughed at one of her jokes. I whispered, "Look at me." She didn't. When the applause hit, I clapped too. My hands shook. A woman behind me said, "Imagine being married to her." I turned and smiled weakly. Yeah, imagine. The conference ended. People surged forward. I stayed still. Victor appeared at her side, hand on her back. "You crushed it," he said loudly. "Thank you," Alina replied. He leaned in. "Single CEO is a powerful image." She nodded. "I know." I stepped forward. "Alina." She froze for half a second, then turned. "Oh, you came." "I always come," I said. Her smile tightened. "We'll talk later." "Now," I said quietly. Victor glanced between us. "Everything okay?" "Yes," she said quickly. "He's a friend." Friend. I felt something crack in my chest. "Since when?" I asked. Her eyes warned me. "Please," she said under her breath. Victor smiled. "Nice to meet you." I didn't shake his hand. "You already know me." He laughed, confused. "Do I?" "Yes," I said. "I'm the distraction." Alina grabbed my arm. "Not here." "Where then?" I asked. "Home," she snapped. "Is that still our home?" I asked. Her jaw clenched. "You're making a scene." "I didn't," I said. "You did." Victor stepped back. "I'll give you space." "Thank you," she said, relieved. I watched him leave. "Does he know?" "Know what?" she said. "That you're married." She lowered her voice. "This wasn't the time." "When is?" I asked. She looked around. "In private." I nodded. "Of course. I only exist in private." Her eyes flashed. "Don't do this." "Do what?" I asked. "Exist." She exhaled sharply. "You know why I had to say that." "I know why you wanted to," I said. We stood there, surrounded by people who didn't see me. A photographer raised his camera. Alina smiled again. "Later," she whispered. She walked away without looking back. I stood alone, the noise crashing over me. A reporter brushed past. "Great event." "Yeah," I said. "Historic." I walked outside into the cold air. My phone rang. It was her. I didn't answer. I looked at the building, lights blazing, her name shining above the door. For the first time I felt small. I whispered, "You erased me." No one heard. I turned and walked away, knowing something sacred had died on that stage, even if she was still smiling inside. I waited in the living room, lights off, phone on the table. When Alina walked in, she kicked off her heels and froze when she saw me. "You're awake," she said. "I've been waiting," I said. She sighed. "Can we not do this tonight?" "When then?" I asked. She dropped her bag. "I had a long day." "So did I said. "You erased me on live TV." She rubbed her temples. "I told you it was necessary." "For who?" I asked. "For the company," she said. "For my image." "And I'm bad for your image?" She didn't answer. "Say it," I said. "Say I'm bad for you." "You're twisting this," she said. "Am I?" I laughed once. "You called me a distraction." "I didn't say your name," she said. "You didn't need to," I said. "The whole world heard it anyway." She crossed her arms. "You knew this would happen." "No," I said. "I knew you'd become famous. I didn't know you'd erase me." She looked away. "It's just temporary." "Marriage isn't temporary," I said. She snapped. "Public perception is." "So I'm a problem to hide?" "You're not a problem," she said. "You're personal." "That's worse," I said quietly. She stepped closer. "Listen, I didn't mean to hurt you." "But you did," I said. She raised her voice. "What did you want me to say?" "Yes, I have a husband who stays home while I run everything?" I stared at her. "So you're ashamed of me?" "That's not what I said." "It is," I said. "You just used bigger words." She threw her hands up. "You're taking this personally." "It is personal," I said. "It's my life." She walked to the kitchen. "I built this company. People expect a certain image. And I don't fit that image?" She hesitated. Not right now. I felt my chest tighten. When will I? She stayed silent. I followed her. Look at me when you answer. She turned. You're emotional. Because I love you, I said. She whispered, love doesn't pay investors. I laughed bitterly. So what am I? A bad investment. She opened her mouth, then closed it. You promised, I said. You said we'd protect each other. I am protecting us, she said. By denying me? Yes, she said. By keeping you safe. Safe from what? I asked. From the world, she said. They'd tear you apart. They already did, I said. You started it. She slammed her hand on the counter. You're being selfish. Selfish? I repeated. For wanting my wife to admit I exist? She looked exhausted. You don't understand how this works. Then explain it, I said. She said quietly, if they think I'm tied down, they think I'm weak. So I make you weak, I said. In their eyes, she said. And in yours. She didn't answer. I remembered our wedding. You cried that night, I said. She looked at me. You said I was your strength, I continued. Was that a lie too? She whispered, people change. So did your vows change? She stared at the floor. Say it, I said. Tell me you regret marrying me. She shook her head. I regret timing. That's the same thing, I said. She looked up, eyes cold. You're holding me back right now. The words sliced through me. I held you up, I said. And now I need to stand alone, she said. I felt something burn in my throat. Then why are you still married to me? She whispered, because I thought you'd understand. I do, I said. You're choosing the world over me. She snapped, you're choosing pride over reality. Reality is you just erased me, I said. She turned away. I can't deal with this. You can't deal with me, I corrected. She walked to the bedroom. I followed. Look at me. She stopped at the door. What do you want from me? I want my wife back, I said. She laughed softly. She doesn't exist anymore. The room felt empty. Then who are you? I asked. She whispered, Hasio. I nodded slowly. Then who am I? She didn't answer. I sat on the bed. I gave you everything. You gave me love, she said. And that wasn't enough? She hesitated. Not for this world. So love is worthless, I said. She shook her head. Not worthless. Just invisible. I stared at her. Like me. She looked away. I felt my hands shake. I'm not begging anymore. She froze. I just wanted to understand, I said. She whispered, and now? Now I know, I said. Love turned into ash. She said nothing. I walked out of the room, feeling lighter and emptier at the same time, knowing something inside me had died and something else was waking up slowly. I didn't go looking for the truth. It found me. Alina left her tablet on the kitchen table. The screen lit up with a message. I told myself not to look. Then I saw my last name. Why is this under my account? Victor's message read. My stomach tightened. I picked up the tablet. You shouldn't be using his family shell anymore, Victor wrote. If he ever finds out. I stopped breathing. I scrolled. Alina replied. He won't. He trusts me. I whispered, I trusted you. Another message popped up. Victor, the transfer cleared. Investors think it's clean. Alina, good. He signed those years ago. Sign what? I dropped into a chair. My hands shook as I opened the files attached to the chat. Legal documents. Old ones. My signature stared back at me. You used me, I said out loud. The door opened. Why are you on my tablet? Alina asked. I looked up. Why is my name funding your empire? She froze. Answer me, I said. She set her bag down slowly. You weren't supposed to see that. So it's true, I said. You used my family trust. She crossed her arms. You agreed. No, I said. I trusted you. She snapped, it's the same thing. I laughed, sharp and bitter. No, it's not. I scrolled again. And this? She looked away. Victor, I said. How long? Her silence screamed. I stood up. How long have you been sleeping with him? She shouted, don't say it like that. Like what? I asked. The truth? She clenched her jaw. It wasn't planned. I nodded slowly. It never is. She stepped toward me. You were distant. I was loyal, I said. You were invisible, she shot back. That was your choice, I said. She shook her head. You don't understand pressure. I understand betrayal, I said. She whispered, Victor understands the business. And I don't. She hesitated. Not like he does. I laughed again. I built the foundation you're standing on. She snapped, and I turned it into something real. So I'm just the dirt, I said. She didn't deny it. My phone rang. Daniel. Put it on speaker, I said. What? She asked. Now, I said. I answered. Daniel. You sound off, he said. I found the papers, I said. There was a pause. Which ones? The trust, I said. And the affair. Another pause. Then you know. Know what? Alina asked sharply. Daniel said, the company isn't legally hers. Her face drained. That's not true. It is, Daniel said calmly. He's the primary guarantor. I looked at her. You built it on my name. She whispered, you wouldn't have survived the scrutiny. So you hid me, I said. Yes, she said. I protected you. Daniel said, you protected yourself. She shouted, stay out of this. You invited me in, Daniel replied. I sat down slowly. How deep does it go? Daniel said, deep enough that if he steps back everything shakes. I closed my eyes. Alina whispered, you wouldn't do that. I looked at her. Wouldn't I? She stepped closer. I did this for us. You did this for you, I said. She grabbed my arm. Please. I pulled away. Don't touch me. Her voice cracked. You still love me. I loved who you were, I said. Victor's name flashed again on the screen. Answer it, I said. She shook her head. Answer it, I repeated. She did. Is it done? Victor asked. I leaned toward the tablet. No, I said. It's just starting. Silence. Alina whispered, what are you doing? I stood up. Learning the truth. Daniel said, I'll come over. Don't, I said. I need to sit with this. I looked at Alina. You didn't just deny me. She stared at me. You built your world on my silence, I said. Her voice shook. I can fix this. I nodded. You already did. She frowned. How? By showing me who you really are, I said. I walked past her. Behind me she said my name. I didn't turn around. I didn't sleep. I sat on the couch until morning, listening to the city wake up without me. When the sun rose, Alina stood across the room like a stranger. You're quiet, she said. I'm thinking, I replied. She crossed her arms. About what? About whether I disappear, I said, or finally exist. She frowned. You're being dramatic. No, I said. I'm being honest. She walked closer. What do you want? I looked at her. The truth. You already have it, she said. I want it from you, I said. She sighed. I made choices. So did I said. She tilted her head. Like what? Like trusting you, I said. Like staying quiet. That helped me, she said. It destroyed me, I replied. She hesitated. I never asked you to stay small. You didn't have to, I said. You benefited from it. She snapped. I built everything. And I stood behind it, I said. She shook her head. This isn't about pride. It is, I said. Mine. Her eyes narrowed. So what now? I leaned back. Now I decide. She laughed nervously. Decide what? Whether I fight, I said, or walk away. She scoffed. You wouldn't survive a fight like this. Maybe not, I said. But I won't survive disappearing either. She softened. I don't want to lose you. You already did, I said. Her voice cracked. Then tell me what to do. I shook my head. That's your habit, not mine. She stared at me. You're punishing me. No, I said. I'm protecting myself. She paced. Victor says. I don't care what Victor says, I snapped. She stopped. You never cared before. I cared about us, I said. Now I care about me. She laughed bitterly. So you're going to destroy everything? I stood up. I'm going to stop saving it. Her face drained. That's the same thing. For you, I said. She grabbed my sleeve. If you pull back, everything collapses. I looked at her hand. Let go. She didn't. You're angry. I'm awake, I said. She whispered, I need you. You needed me invisible, I replied. She finally let go. My phone rang. Daniel again. Answer it, Alina said quietly. I did. Yeah. Daniel said, have you decided? I think so, I said. Alina watched me closely. Daniel asked, what are you going to do? I said, nothing. There was silence. Daniel chuckled. That's not nothing. I know, I said. Alina snapped, explain. Daniel said, if he stops covering the cracks, the truth shows. She whispered, you can't. I can, I said. Daniel added, you don't need revenge. I don't want it, I said. Alina's voice shook. Then what do you want? I looked at her. Balance. Daniel said, I'll handle the legal side. Don't rush, I said. Alina stepped forward. I'll fix this. I'll go public. I shook my head. That's not your choice anymore. Her eyes widened. You're serious. I've never been more serious, I said. She whispered, you still love me. I still remember loving you, I replied. She flinched. Daniel said, call me when you're ready. I hung up. Alina sat down slowly. So this is revenge? No, I said. This is consequence. She looked up. What if I lose everything? I paused. That depends on what everything means to you. She laughed softly. You've changed. I had to, I said. She whispered, and if I apologize? I met her eyes. Apologies don't rebuild trust. She wiped her face. Then what do? We stop pretending, I said. She nodded weakly. And after that? I let go, I said. She whispered, of me? Of who you became, I answered. The room felt lighter. I sat back down, calm for the first time. I wasn't plotting. I wasn't begging. I was choosing myself, and that choice felt heavier than love but stronger than fear. I didn't announce my decision. I just stopped answering calls. That was all it took. Alina noticed by noon. Why didn't you return legal's email? She asked. I didn't feel like it, I said. She frowned. That's not funny. I'm not joking, I replied. Her phone buzzed. She glanced at it and stiffened. Investor relations is panicking, she said. I nodded. They should be. She stared at me. What did you do? I did nothing, I said. That's impossible, she snapped. Exactly, I replied. She paced the room. You can't just go silent. I did for years, I said. You survived. She stopped. This is different. Because now it affects you, I said. Her phone rang again. She answered. Yes. No. I don't know why he hasn't responded. She lowered her voice. He's just tired. I laughed softly. She covered the phone. Stop that. Tell them the truth, I said. She hissed, there's nothing to tell. The call ended. She rounded on me. You're enjoying this. No, I said. I'm observing it. She folded her arms. Victor says this is temporary. Victor isn't the foundation, I said. She snapped. He understands the market. And I understand the contracts, I replied. Her phone buzzed again. This time she didn't answer. What are they saying? I asked. She swallowed. They want reassurance. I nodded. From me. She looked at me like I'd betrayed her twice. You promised, she said. I promised to protect us, I said. Not to lie forever. She whispered, you're letting them doubt me. They're questioning the structure, I said. That structure works, she said. Because I was holding it, I replied. A knock came at the door. I opened it. Maya stood there, eyes red. I'm sorry, she said immediately. For what? Alina asked sharply. Maya looked at me. For knowing. Alina spun toward her. Knowing what? Maya whispered, the filings. The trust. Victor. Alina's face hardened. Get out. Maya flinched. I warned you this would happen. I stepped aside. She can stay. Alina glared at me. This is my company. Maya said softly, not on paper. Silence filled the room. Maya continued, journalists are asking questions. Alina laughed. About what? About you, Maya said. And him. She nodded toward me. Alina's voice shook. They don't know him. They will, Maya said. Alina turned to me. You talked. I didn't, I said. Then why is this happening? She demanded. Because truth doesn't need help, I replied. Maya added, Lena from the Chronicle called twice. Alina snapped, ignore her. She already has documents, Maya said. Alina's breath hitched. I asked, From where? Maya looked at me. From public records. Alina sank into a chair. This can't be happening. It is, I said. She looked up. Call them. Fix it. I shook my head. I'm not fixing lies anymore. She whispered, you're tearing me down. No, I said. I'm stepping aside. Her phone rang again. She answered with shaking hands. Yes, she said. No, he hasn't responded. She listened, then whispered, I understand. The call ended. She stared at the screen. They want an emergency board meeting, she said. When? I asked. Tonight, she replied. I nodded. Good. She looked at me like she didn't recognize me. You planned this, she said. I planned my exit, I replied. Maya whispered, I'm sorry. I looked at her. You're free to leave. She nodded and walked out. Alina stood slowly. If I fall, you fall too. I met her eyes. I already survived. She whispered, I made you. I shook my head. You used me. She laughed bitterly. You think this ends well? For me, I said, it already has. She turned away, phone pressed to her ear, voice breaking as she spoke to people who finally realized she was standing on borrowed ground, while I stood still, silent, and no longer holding her crown together. She came to my door at midnight. I knew it was her before I opened it. Please, Alina said. Just listen. I stepped aside. You already taught me how. She walked in slowly, eyes swollen, makeup gone. You look calm, she said. I am, I replied. That scares me, she whispered. She sat on the edge of the couch like she didn't belong there anymore. They dropped me, she said. Who? I asked. Victor, she said. The board. Half the investors. I nodded. She looked up sharply. That's it? You don't care? I care, I said. I just don't panic. Her hands trembled. They're questioning everything. They should, I said. She laughed once, broken. He blamed you. I'm used to that, I replied. She leaned forward. He said you planned this. I planned to stop lying, I said. She shook her head. You could fix it. I could, I agreed. Her eyes lit up. Then do it. I didn't answer. She whispered, say something. I'm deciding if you're talking to me, I said, or to what I can do for you. She flinched. I made mistakes, she said quickly. You made choices, I replied. She swallowed. I was scared. So was I said. She stood up. You don't understand what I'm losing. I understand exactly, I said. She paced. They're calling me a fraud. You built on borrowed truth, I said. She snapped. I built something real. And erased me to do it, I said. She stopped. I never meant to erase you. You did, I said. Publicly. She whispered, I'm sorry. The word hung in the air. Say my name, I said. She blinked. What? Say it, I repeated. She hesitated. Why? Because you couldn't, I said. Her lips parted. Say my name, I said again. She closed her eyes. I was wrong. That's not my name, I said. Tears slipped down her face. Say it, I said softly. She whispered my name. Something in her voice cracked when she said it. I exhaled slowly. There, I said. That wasn't so hard. She wiped her face. I needed you. You needed what I gave, I replied. She shook her head. I loved you. You loved safety, I said. She grabbed my arm. I still do. I pulled away. Don't. Her voice rose. You're enjoying this. No, I said. I'm finishing it. She laughed through tears. So this is revenge. This is closure, I said. She sank back onto the couch. If you walk away now, I lose everything. I looked at her. You lost me first. She whispered, I didn't think you'd leave. I didn't think you'd deny me, I said. She looked up. Help me. I stayed quiet. She begged, please? I said, do you love me or do you need me? She opened her mouth. Closed it. That was my answer. She whispered, I can fix us. You can't, I said. She looked at the door. Then this is it. Yes, I replied. She stood slowly. You're really going to let me fall? I'm going to let you stand on what you built, I said. She laughed bitterly. You're cruel. No, I said. I'm honest. She walked toward the door, then stopped. I regret it, she said. I believe you, I replied. She turned hopeful. But regret isn't love, I added. Her shoulders dropped. She nodded once. Goodbye. I didn't answer. The door closed behind her. I sat down, heart steady, hands still. For the first time she had said my name out loud, and for the first time, it didn't belong to her anymore. I woke up to my phone ringing nonstop. I didn't answer it. I turned on the TV instead. The anchor said, "Breaking news regarding Alina Corp." I muted the sound. My phone buzzed again. Daniel's name. I answered. "It's public," he said. "I know," I replied. "You're calm," he said. "I slept," I said. He exhaled. "The marriage certificate is everywhere." I nodded. "Good." "They're asking why you stayed silent," he added. "What did you say?" "That silence isn't consent," he replied. I smiled faintly. Daniel continued, "Financial oversight is investigating the trust transfers." "I signed nothing recent," I said. "Exactly," he replied. The TV flashed her face. A headline scrolled under it. Secret husband. Hidden finances. Public denial. I turned the volume back on. A reporter said, "Sources confirm the CEO denied her legal marriage while benefiting from undisclosed assets tied to her husband." My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. I ignored it. The doorbell rang. I didn't move. It rang again. I opened the door. Lena stood there, recorder in hand. "I won't comment," I said. She nodded. "I know." "Then why are you here?" "To say thank you," she said. "For what?" "For not lying," she replied. I stepped aside. "You have 5 minutes." She didn't sit. "Did you plan this?" "No," I said. "I stopped preventing it." She clicked off the recorder. "Do you hate her?" I shook my head. "I don't think about her." She studied my face. "That's worse." She turned to leave, then paused. "She's holding a press conference." I shrugged. "She likes stages." Lena left. My phone rang again. Lena. I stared at the screen. Then I answered. "They're destroying me," she said. "They're asking questions," I replied. "You let this happen," she said. "I let truth happen," I said. Her voice cracked. "They showed our wedding photo." "I remember that day," I said. She whispered, "I was happy." "So was I," I replied. She said quickly, "Say something." "1 sentence." "They'll back off." "No," I said. "You're enjoying this," she accused. "I'm healing," I said. She cried, "I said your name." "I heard it," I replied. "Then why won't you help?" "Because names don't rebuild trust," I said. She snapped, "You're heartless." "I learned from you," I replied. Silence filled the line. She whispered, "I ruined everything." "You revealed it," I corrected. She hung up. I sat down as notifications exploded. Friends I hadn't heard from in years texted. "I'm sorry. We didn't know. You okay?" I didn't reply. Daniel called again. "Board removed her." "Already?" I asked. "They voted unanimously," he said. I closed my eyes. "They want to speak to you," he added. "No," I said. He chuckled softly. "Smart." I turned on the TV again. Alina stood behind a podium, eyes red, voice shaking. "I made mistakes," she said. "I never meant to hurt anyone." A reporter shouted, "Why deny your husband?" She froze. "I was afraid," she said. "Of what?" another voice asked. She swallowed. "Losing power." I turned the TV off. My phone buzzed. A final message from her. "I see it now. I lost you." I stared at the screen. Then I deleted the message. I went outside. The city felt the same. Cars moved. People laughed. No one knew me. And that was fine. Daniel texted. "It's over." I typed back. "It ended earlier." I stood there, breathing in quiet, knowing the world finally knew the truth, but more importantly, I no longer needed it to. I packed my things at dawn. Not everything. Just what was mine. Clothes, books, old notes. The rest belonged to a life I didn't need anymore. Daniel watched from the doorway. "You sure?" "I've never been surer," I said. He nodded. "They're still calling." "They can keep calling," I replied. He smiled faintly. "You okay?" "I'm honest," I said. He stepped aside as I carried the last box out. Outside, the air felt clean. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered. "It's over," Alina said. "I know," I replied. "They froze my accounts," she continued. "I heard," I said. She laughed weakly. "I used to scare rooms." "I remember," I replied. She hesitated. "Do you feel powerful now?" No, I said. I feel light. She whispered, I don't know who I am without it. You'll find out, I said. She said my name once more quietly. I closed my eyes. Don't? Silence followed. She asked, Is there anything left? I thought about it. Memories, I said. Good ones? She asked. Enough, I replied. She breathed out. I wish I'd protected you. You protected yourself, I said. She whispered, I lost everything. No, I replied. You lost control. She didn't argue. I have to go, I said. Goodbye, she replied. Goodbye, I said back. The call ended. Daniel cleared his throat. You ready? Yes, I said. We drove without talking. The city passed by, loud and indifferent. At a red light, Daniel said, You know they'll write stories. They always do, I replied. Any regrets? He asked. I shook my head. Just lessons. He smiled. That's growth. I laughed softly. We stopped near the river. I stepped out alone. The water moved forward without looking back. My phone buzzed one last time. A message from Maya. I'm sorry. You deserved better. I typed back. I know. I put the phone away. I thought about the man I used to be. Quiet. Patient. Invisible. I wasn't ashamed of him. He loved honestly. But I wasn't him anymore. I remembered our promise, whispered years ago. We'll protect each other. I kept mine longer than she did. That mattered. I sat on a bench, listening to the city breathe. A stranger sat beside me. Nice morning, he said. It is, I replied. He nodded and walked on. No one knew my story. I didn't need them to. I stood up and stretched, feeling steady. There was no applause. No victory speech. Just peace. I had been betrayed, denied, erased. And I survived without becoming cruel. That was my win. I walked away from the river, steps slow, shoulders relaxed. Behind me were broken vows, empty stages, borrowed crowns. Ahead of me was quiet. Just my own name carried only by me. For the first time, my life belonged to no one else, and that freedom felt heavier than love once did, but it was real and it was finally, completely mine.